Today I will show you how to beat Brotato with any character. So this is more as a base guide if you don't really understand Brotato but want to get to know it, but this is of course not character specific. For this we'll go for well-rounded and I'll try to keep it somewhat open. Now in the beginning you usually want to go for ranged weapons because they allow you to keep distance and you don't need to learn the patterns of the enemies as much. The alternative is stick because it has natural damage growth and it's a fairly strong weapon because it scales with every stick that you own. For this, we will just go for the slingshot. This is usually a very strong starting weapon. The only issue is that it attacks very slowly. Now, usually my videos are shared to my subscribers. This will not be the case here, so either you get it recommended in your home tab or you searched it. Which means, welcome to the channel. Most likely you have not seen me before and I've done a lot of Brotato videos and I'm very experienced with it. And one thing that is very important to say is, a lot in this game is about experience. So I will share all of my thoughts and this will be a longer video, but just that you can understand anything that is going on even while we are playing on the wave. So first decision, do we want to have 7 money or do we want to have the penguin? The penguin gives us bonus HP regeneration. The money is not a lot though. On the first wave it's quite something. However, this may allow us to heal a lot if we pick up fruits from the enemies, so I will just take it right now. And I'm a big fan of picking up luck early on, because we have no good options and rerolls can get quite expensive, so I'll just take it. It would have been better if we got something like HP, armor, range damage, even attack speed. And in here I like to start with more weapons. This is really important because on the very first 2 waves you always have 2 weapons in the shop. If you see an item that you really want, you can just lock the shop. There's for example another penguin, but I don't really need it, like we only took it because there weren't great options. But this is honestly a great start because it's horrible. Yeah, I know that's kind of ironic, but we would have loved to have a lot of the slingshots, since it's very important to build up at least 6 weapons and then upgrading them. And now that we have 2 weapons, there's another thing that comes into play, which is weapon trades. So the slingshot gives us bonus max HP because it's a primitive weapon, which means we could also go for other primitive weapons. The issue is this weapon here scales with melee damage. It's also a melee range weapon, and this one here scales with range damage. So we don't really want to mix these two because then we have to upgrade both of them. But what we could do is we could take multiple ranged weapons. There's range damage, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's fairly cheap, but we are still looking for more slingshots, and there we go. Now trees are something I absolutely love, and I will also lock the helmet here. This is not something I would usually do. Now that I think about it, next wave we will still have 2 weapons offered, so we will roll quite a bit. I could even roll one more time right now because we get 2 weapons offered, but it's so expensive at this point that I rather like to roll next round. Because we already have the tree in there, so we know we will spend money, which means there's not really a reason to use up our money right now, just to roll. Though, like, always be aware, early on, because you get more weapons offered, it's quite worth it to roll, even if you can't buy something because you lock it, and then it's guaranteed. But it's also guaranteed on the next wave, you know, so it's not that important yet. But as you can see, the slingshot, amazing. It bounces over the stage. Bag, incredible combined with the tree that we are about to buy. We don't have it yet. Because when we pick up a crate, we get bonus material. So this is early money generation, which allows us to buy more things. 2 armor, also incredible. Our goal is around 20 armor, but there's not really a limit to it. You just take it to a degree where you feel safe with it. Now, I would usually go for harvesting here, and I may actually do that, but maybe we'll play it safe and just go for HP regeneration. So, we have the tree over here, and because we know we get money out of it, I will buy it already, even though the priority is to roll for the slingshots. There's the next one, perfect. And because the rolls are still cheap, and we are guaranteed to get 2 weapons, I'll keep rolling. There's another tree, perfect shop for the next wave. So what is the next focus? The next focus is to get range damage up, percent damage, attack speed, possibly crit, but crit is kind of like, if you don't get it to higher values, it's just a gamble whether it works or not, and I prefer it to be reliable. Armor is important, speed we want to get this to like 20 to 30%, and any extra luck and harvesting that we can get is useful. Harvesting gives you bonus experience and material, but yes, also experience, and it also gets multiplied by bonus experience gain. So on characters with a lot of harvesting, you can actually just go for experience gain and you level up like stupid. One thing I can't teach you with words is to dodge the enemies. This is something you just gotta get used to, like whether enemies will die with your shots or not. And one focus here is the trees, that we take all of them down, because they may have a crate in there. It's a 20% chance multiplied by luck, and we want to have the bonus money. We sadly didn't get anything, but there is attack speed. The longer you play, the better your feeling gets for what is important and what is needed right now, because you also know what the future waves are. So in this case, because it's blue, we always take attack speed, but sometimes it gets a bit more complicated to decide what makes the most sense. There's a slingshot, let's roll. We have crit over here and crit healing. Now, usually you want to look for a form of healing, and healing is technically also taking armor, because if you prevent damage on you, that's like healing yourself, right? So combining HP regeneration, lifesteal, items that heals you, fruits and consumable heals, armor. If you do all of these, it's quite strong, but this is very expensive early on and we don't have crit, so I will skip it for now. We don't need to pierce because our bullets bounce, and the higher they are, the more they will bounce, so on this weapon it's useless. But some of the weapons really need this, just that you poke the enemies. Let's keep rolling, and by the way, you may have noticed there are no longer 2 weapons in the shop. This only appears in the very first 2 shops. There's another bag, that is insane, we'll take that because it's money. I will roll one more time, and there we have the final slingshot. At this point, I'm also considering just going for mutation, and I think I will do this. It's not a great item, but it's bonus range damage minus knockback, which isn't great, but negative effects mean the price is lower compared to if it was not on it, so it's not that expensive. And range damage is harder to build up because you only get half out of it compared to melee damage. But as you may notice, we are demolishing the enemies rather easily. I have a priority on my mind to deal with the stronger enemies first, but if they are too strong, I tend to ignore them. So here the hordes, they're easy to take care of. These guys here are relatively easy to take care of, but I will avoid them because it's more important to me that I kill a lot of enemies, and it's less important to me that I kill singular strong enemies. The exceptions are something like the range guy here, who isn't really strong, but he's annoying. If the bullets overwhelm you, that's bad. But did you see how much material we just got out of the singular crate? Here, we got 30 material. And that is a lot, because we were at 135, and now we're at 165. Here we have a bonus way to heal, and honestly, this is a little bit of a tough call. It's not like you always heal whenever it shoots, because you have to be in range of it. So I think I will actually... You know what, for this video, I will take it. Like, I am good at the game, so I can make use of this money better than someone who is looking for advice. So I will just take it, because I would recommend this to you. We will go for attack speed again. This is one very good way to deal with enemies. And because this was level 5, it's actually guaranteed to always be blue. Every 5 levels you have a special level up, so in this case we could have also rolled to guarantee we get 2 range damage. And talking about healing, we will go for the lifesteal because lifesteal is really good on the slingshots, since you make a double hit on the enemies. So we'll take the slingshot, we'll take the range damage to go up to, well, we don't even increase because the scaling is only 80%. So we just need a little bit more percent damage to scale it up. Ice Cube is horrible, let's roll. And just to point this out, if you play this, you don't have to go for the same weapon. If you find other ranged weapons, you can combine them. I usually prefer to go for the same weapon, but if you want an easier win, you just use multiple different weapons. Because right now I need so many weapons to max this out. We just haven't seen that many good weapons. Now Javelin is a good example. It's a ranged weapon, but it has melee damage scaling. So it's also primitive, we could take this, but it's based on melee damage, as you can see with the symbol, so we don't want it. This is a ranged weapon, but scaling with elemental damage, not what we are doing. There's another slingshot, beautiful. Now pickup range is one thing. If you have trouble picking up material, this may be worth it to you, but in my eyes, I know how to walk, so I get most of the material, so it's not really worth it. There is one exception, which is the gecko that I sometimes take. This one is not great. It would give us 1 bonus damage, but it's really costly and it loses us our healing, which we have started to build up, so I will skip that. More armor is always nice, even though speed is now a concern, and I will do one more roll. There's a slingshot, and now here's a complicated thing. Do we want to have more enemies or do we not want to have more enemies? Looking at our build, we attack very fast, so we can deal with more enemies. We are starting to build up range damage. We have we have no speed, but we have an okay amount of armor. In this case, because we know our weapon, in this case slingshot, can deal with a lot of enemies. And look at this, the blue ones. They have 2 bounces, so 3 enemies get hit per shot. We can definitely do it. But if you already struggle with killing enough enemies, you may not want to go for it. And there's more to this. because we increase the amount of enemies for the rest of the game, right? So it doesn't just make it harder for right now when I take it, but it also makes it harder for future waves. And 5% is a bit elusive because it may mean that instead of spawning one enemy, you spawn two enemies. And those that spawn in low numbers are usually the tough enemies, so now you have to deal with double the amount. When you see this guy, by the way, try to chase him down, but don't stress it if it doesn't work. Because we have a bouncing weapon, it's very easy to take him down, since the rest of the bounces just kill the rest of the enemies. But if you have a weapon that struggles, because you put all of your bullets into one enemy and the rest stays alive, just ignore him. But yeah, when you kill him, it's always a guaranteed crate, and this is what I was talking about with the gecko. This is an exception that I like. It gives you bonus range, so you kill the enemies from further away, but also you don't have to go around as much to collect material, so we'll take that. There's more harvesting in here. We could roll, but I want to roll on level 10, not now, so we will just go for harvesting for money. More enemies, more armor, let's roll, another slingshot. One strategy that I often do is I go for the uniques and the limited because I know I'm going into endless mode, so after wave 20, and if you take them they can't appear anymore. But this is overall a horrible item, and because we stop at wave 20 we will not do that here. Lifesteal is a very good option and we will take this even though it loses harvesting, so we lose money, but it means we heal more. And the SMG is a serious consideration here because it would help us deal with singular enemies. It's just not a powerful weapon and we don't have a lot of range damage. And attack speed is actually not great for it because it already attacks fast. So in our case, horrible weapon, we don't want it. 12% bonus damage is amazing, we'll lock this for the next round. There's the other melee weapon that scales on melee damage but has range damage. It's pretty much the melee counterpart to the slingshot, so if you have a character that scales with range damage and melee damage, there's one of those, you can actually go slingshot and shuriken, because whenever you get range damage you also get melee damage, and this works insanely well. And it already gives you crit chance because the shuriken is a precise weapon and it needs to crit to bounce. So it's not as good as the slingshot because the slingshot always bounces. However, the shuriken has way more damage potential because its attack speed is higher. And again, because of the built-in crit, it is very powerful. The only issue is, it takes a very long time to get good. Like, you need it on red levels. Now here, as you may notice, whenever enemies walk in, I try to keep my distance of them, but I walk close to enemies I want to burst. This is also an experience thing. You kind of learn what enemies die, what enemies don't die, and even those enemies that don't die, whether they are risked to walk into or not. Like, we have 41 HP, look at this. We have 4% lifesteal, but we hit 3 times. So this is kind of as if we had 12% lifesteal. Not really, but kind of. Landmines, we don't need this. I could take it because, you know, 10 damage is nice, but I'll just go for the money. We could go for the luck here because the attack speed is quite low, so I will do this. Luck has one insane bonus, which is that the enemies drop more consumables, so that's more healing. And if you bump up the consumable healing, then you can stay alive forever as long as you have enough luck and enemies that you kill. It also gives you higher rarities, and we'll take the crit here because it's quite good. It's just hard to get it up, so I usually wait for very high offers. So, if we go for bonus 12% damage, this should give us 1 bonus damage. Nice, you know, you build it up in small steps. The penguin, I could take this out now, and I think I will do this for bonus healing. It's not great overall. And we will also buy the baby gecko. Let's roll. You can, by the way, argue that both of these items were kind of useless, but... okay. So here's my conflict. If I want to show you how to beat the game with any character and I share all of my thoughts and I just get an item that gives you an insane chance to high roll, this doesn't make any sense, right? I think we can all agree with this. Even this one here is unlikely, but it's not even a good item. Like, it's not that good. So I will actually skip the fishhook for the sake of this run. For the sake of teaching you how to play the game. I will do one more roll. We have more trees. That is amazing because we get so much money out of them. Petting is a typical item that people really love, but I think it's horrible because you don't usually want to have a lot of money. It's like the piggy bank. The piggy bank gives you 12% bonus money at the end or at the start of the wave, so whatever leftover money you have gets increased, but this means you didn't spend it in the shop. And even though that sounds nice because you have more money, a lot of the items in the game have like a, how's it called? Not exponential effect, like an exponential growth. You buy economy items, you get more money, and you become stronger, and the next round you're even stronger because of that. But if you, like, for example, just save the money and you don't use it, yes, you get bonus money, but you may end up killing less enemies, so you lose money, and you also don't roll for the cheaper items. Money costs in this game go up every single round, like what you pay in the shop, so it's very important that you get to it ASAP. And if you can't do that, then you just waste more money. Because yes, you got the 20% increase, but next round, everything is more expensive. We will definitely take the lifesteal. You may have noticed we hit a lot, so this is very valuable. We don't need this, it's more max HP, but we have a lot of max HP. The goal is like 80 to 100, at the wave 20, and melee damage is useless, so let's recycle that. Crit is very nice, but here I will roll for attack speed or range damage, both are fine. I think I will actually go for range damage because it's so low. Now it's 4. So percent damage bonus, kind of nice, I like it, not that great, but it's something. Let's keep rolling. Baby Gecko, I will get it out of the way. The moment we have 4, we are more likely to see the other ones. And there's one that I'm looking for in particular that is common, which gives us 1 range damage, but takes away 5 range, which is a fair trade. It's actually insane how much damage we get out of that. Tardigrade is a typical trap. If you need to avoid 1 hit to win a round, it's more likely that you still die, just like 1 hit later. We could go for the speed, but I don't like the minus range right now, and we need to look for more slingshots. Our highest priority in this moment is get more slingshots, get more damage. More armor is also okay, yeah sure, and I don't want to do the roll because it's quite costly right now, so we'll just continue. HP is like a 4 out of 10 concern right now, like it's very low. The highest one is probably range damage, followed by attack speed, followed by speed, followed by armor, followed by luck, and that was probably it. Like HP just doesn't exist even. I will take it, like, so why I mention this is, if we have a level up with a red HP but a blue attack speed, this would be enough that I take the red HP because I still want it, and then I can just look in the future for more attack speed or more range damage. But if I had a red HP and a purple range damage, I would take the range damage because that's good. Now it's always nice sometimes to walk into enemies just to see, wait, how much damage do I actually take if you don't know the numbers? We take 5 to 7 damage, which is, that's nothing. Like, okay, let me take damage here. Do you see how fast we heal this up? Do you see how safe we are? This doesn't mean that I can just stand still and nothing happens to me, but it's very safe. One thing you can do, by the way, in the settings, that is good enough that we'll definitely take this. That is also nice because we get more loot aliens. And here we'll go for the crit to build it up a bit further. But in the settings under, I think it's gameplay, you can activate manual aim on mouse press. So when you're on the round, and for example we had a tree to the bottom right, if I would have just left clicked on it, it would have focused on the tree and destroyed it. However, I personally think if you're a beginner, you probably wouldn't do this, like you just let the game take over, that you can focus on dodging, and this is my personal advice. Don't focus on aiming your weapons if you also have to learn to dodge. Once you know how to dodge, you can do it manually, but odds are you're so good at the game at that point that you don't even need to do that because you just understand how the game works and where to walk. So we will go for another slingshot here, and you may have noticed I love the helmet a lot because we have 5 of them, so this gave us 5 of our 7 armor. Now over here we have a complicated call. It gives us a huge amount of damage, armor, knockback, minus speed, but limits how fast we attack. So if we take a look at our weapon, do we assume we may go down below the 0.75 limit? Yes, kind of. But because our weapon either way bounces and hits so many enemies, it's fine for us. So we will take it because these stats are crazy. Let's do 1 or 2 more rolls. This bonus attack speed, but it's a lot of money for minus armor, which I've been building up, so I don't like it. But we can trade our high HP stat for 7% damage. I don't think I will do another roll. Now this is a dangerous wave. On the old map it's a hot wave. This just means a lot of enemies spawn. And even if you're strong enough, if they overwhelm you, they overwhelm you. And over the course of the wave there will be stronger enemies that spawn that you have to deal with. Like for example the bandage guys. But do you notice something? Yeah, nothing is a problem for us. Why is nothing a problem? Because we managed to get our damage up. We almost doubled it, right? We have very high percent damage now. We have okay attack speed. We have decent range damage. Optimally speaking, you want this higher, but you can't really tell the game what you want to get. I mean, okay, if you watch my videos, you know that I can just say I want this and 1 or 2 rounds later it's there. But I'm saying a normal person can't do that. I will try to stay away from the curse because that's a DLC thing and not everyone may have the DLC and it will mess with the video quite a bit. We got the curse. That's the problem of bounces, I can't control them. But I did play on the original map here because there are a lot less cursed enemies, like that give you curse when you kill them. What happened to my eyes? I think I only have one eye and it's in the center. But did you see when we got hit how fast we just healed up? And by the way, make a count. So right now the bonus money we get out of this, we have 240, which is insane by the way. So this shows the value of the bag. But watch this. Now it's at 200. Oh, I'm stupid. I can't do math. I thought they give 20, but they give 30 per crate that we get. So it's 60. Yeah. Let's get rid of you. This is another rare that I like to take usually because it's kind of easy to build up knockback and it's like a little bit of a damage cheat. So I will take it because the sell value is low in comparison to the money that we have. Like always compare this with each other, what makes the most sense. We earn so much because this was a horde wave, but next wave you'll still earn around 400. So I will take it. More range means we hit the enemies from further away, I like that. We'll go for attack speed because we still want to hit this 0.75 and now we are quite close to it. We don't care about max HP, but 1 range damage is huge, 21 damage to 22 damage. And why did our damage go down by so much? Because we have wisdom. You know, every 5 seconds we get bonus damage. Let's combine them, and what is the difference between the 3 types of slingshot? This has 1 bounce and has 80% damage scaling. This has 2 bounces with 80% damage scaling. And this has 3 bounces with 80% damage scaling. But do you notice that the attack speed also goes down? The cooldown. And that is very valuable because we attack faster. Now, I'm personally a fan of gambling, so we'll go for the goldfish. It's very cheap. It's the same price as a common, but it could give us something insane. Okay, that's funny because I talked about you. And you know what? To make this closer to real case, I will actually buy the blunderbuss. Like, you want to mix up weapons if they are good. And the blunderbuss is an insane weapon. Super long cooldown, but the moment you pick up material, it shoots again. Now, the starfish is something I really wouldn't recommend you taking if you feel uncertain about beating the game, because the bonus enemy damage can really overwhelm you. So let's take a look at when we want to take it. We have a huge amount of lifesteal. It doesn't look like it, but keep in mind this hits 4 enemies with 1 shot, so we actually do a huge amount of shots. This resets when we pick up material. We also gain more money out of the enemies. We gain harvesting. We have 10 armor, which is quite a lot, so I can afford it. Okay, I'm a bit out of it because my doorbell just rang, but yeah, slingshot is very good. Metal is, by the way, one of your best friends if you're not going for crit chance, and we may even consider it and just say the crit chance that we got is pointless, like we'll not make use of it, because max HP, damage, armor, speed, this has all the stats that you want to have, and our speed is really bad. The only conflict is, we have 12% crit chance. I really don't want to waste this. Now, we will make the enemies slower and also us, but this means they are not as fast anymore. And I would say we'll just continue to wave 10. Now, talking about future waves. Brotato has 3 special waves and you can actually reset at the start. Like, you just press escape, check out what you got, and you can reset for whatever you want. But the last one is always an elite. And the first 2 can change, but this depends on the character that you're playing, because some characters are predetermined what they get. And by the way, take a look at the blunderbuss. Like, we will check out the damage if I don't forget about it, but it will have crazy damage. The blunderbuss has incredible synergy with the geckos, of which we already have 3, because you just get the material automatically when you kill an enemy, which then resets the attack, and it has insane damage. 80 damage right now, scaling with wisdom up. Every 5 seconds we get 5% bonus damage. So it's a nuke, and we can just blast away the enemies. If you go for multiples of them, you may not want to have the gecko. The simple reason is if all of the material is gone, then you're facing a 3.7 second cooldown. And that is horrible, right? Because you have to wait until you kill enemies to trigger it again. So in our case, it's fine because we always have the slingshot to just kill some more enemies, even if the blunderbuss is on cooldown, even if we had 3 of them. But yeah, all in all, solid run so far. I'm very happy with it. The only shaky thing is maybe the starfish. This is really one I don't recommend. The way you have to view it is, do I believe that like 20% bonus money, which is not really the case, but kind of, is 20% bonus money. Can I use that better than the enemies use 15% bonus damage? Hate this item, I honestly never take it. On a melee character you can make it work, but minus 25% crit chance for all 5 of them is horrible. This is more healing and HP. This means consumable healing is dead. If I take that, there's no reason to bump it up anymore. But we have low luck either way, so I don't get a lot of fruit, so it's fine. 1 bonus range damage, more than fine. Here we will take the 2 range damage, highest priority. Dodge is also okay to build up, but it's already negative. Like, usually I decide to go for a stat like dodge if I just perchance upgraded it in the past by buying items and they just also had dodge, but I didn't care. But in this case, we'll not get it to 60%, so let's take this. Attack speed is not bad, but right now we almost hit the limit of 0.75, and when we upgrade them to red levels, they get another bump, so there's no reason to go for that, and I'm considering either damage or range damage. And because it's level 15, it's guaranteed purple, like they go up in rarity over time, and level 25 I believe is when it turns red. So let's just roll. Armor is also solid, we'll take that. So let's slow down the enemy, we will take more lifesteal, which as we talked about is a synergy with armor, so that's beautiful. We could go for that. This doesn't really matter. I may start picking up more max HP because we run into a little bit of a pickle. If we don't get enough max HP and we get overwhelmed on the horde wave, this is a problem. And we have 2 of the penguins, so if I pick up fruits, we either way get a lot of HP regeneration while I'm at full HP. Like, we need to be at full HP for this effect to kick in. But I would say we'll do it. There's another slingshot. Horrible red item. If you don't have elemental damage, ignore it. So this is a gamble I will not take. If you need to learn the game, do not take this because it will make it really hard to kill the enemies. Right now we are strong enough, we could just take it and we get ahead of the enemies so much because of bonus experience gain on a horde wave. Like, this is a super good item in this very moment that I should definitely take. However, if you are not in the same position that I am in, then you won't be able to take this item, and then this run is just so far ahead that I win no matter what I do, and that's not what I want to show with this video. Horrible item, by the way. Never take it unless you're very confident. Like, if you went all in on damage, but you have no max HP and you risk dying, then it's really good, because you either way have more than enough damage, like you already overkill the enemies. But all in all, it's a horrible item. Only rarely take it if you really think, I need the HP. Like, if you have 20 HP but like 200 damage on your weapons, you know, then you can easily take it. So this is range, attack speed. This will actually give us minus damage, and by quite a bit, which I hate right now. This is also minus damage. I regret it so much that I took that. Yeah, this one. That's the reason I'm usually not the biggest fan. No, it's not the greatest issue. We could actually take this just for the lifesteal, and I will do it for survivability. We will also take the luck here. It's kind of nice. And keep in mind, wisdom will give us bonus damage over time. So even if this number is quite low, it's fine. Another coupon is always nice. We'll take the Vigilante ring because this will be active for 8 waves, because wave 20 doesn't count. Like, we need to finish the wave to get the bonus. So it's 24% bonus damage on its own, and that's quite a bit. Okay, so this is the horde wave. One thing when I'm playing melee characters is when I fight a horde wave, I like to go into corners because the melee weapons usually have knockback and you can just push them away. Like, they only have 1/4 of the area to approach you, right? And then you can push them away with your melee weapon and multi-hit them. Projectiles can't multi-hit unless they have pierce, but then they can always do it, you know, when they are behind each other, the enemies. So in our case, we can just walk around and we make sure that we don't get surrounded by strong enemies. But if you have a melee weapon, watch my videos and see what I do on horde waves when it's a tight run. When it's like one where I can easily die, you will always see me stand in a corner and make sure that I can deal with the enemies by doing that. And not even then it always works. And one trick, by the way, for that is you want... Okay, I need the trees. I'm sorry, I can't show it. Okay, so one trick is you do like this L movement pattern, because this way you organize where the enemies are accumulating and they keep distance to you. Now for wave 11 we expect to earn a ridiculous amount, and I will do something that I always like to do, especially on horde waves on melee weapons. I just stand in the corner and I walk to the side, like you see, side down. If you have 6 weapons at this point with decent damage, you may also just run around and kill the enemies if you notice this works. But we can't afford that right now. This is just something down to experience. But if you're not sure whether you can do it or not, just do it. Because what's the penalty, right? The enemies all walk towards you, so you'll be safe. Now we have to be careful towards the end. I wanted to rush out and get all of the trees, but this will definitely not happen. So I will just run through, get the rest. We have 1,800 material. Okay, you know what? I will take this. No, you shouldn't take this. You really shouldn't take this. If you need to learn the game, this is another one of the risk items where you can just get blasted away. In our case though, we have so much armor, we have so much HP, I think it's fine. Yeah, this is fair. This is fair game. Stop it. I hate how much luck I have with the fishhook. This is the second fishhook right now. We are not doing it still. We are not doing it. So now we are at 0.75 attack speed with the purple one already. So we hit the limit there, which means no more attack speed ever. We will go for the Vigilante ring. We will also go for the coil. And do you, by the way, notice how much money we have? That's quite absurd. The coil will now double scale. So instead of just having one of them, we get double the amount out of it. So we have 4 knockback right now, as we can see over here, which is 8% bonus damage. And for one item, 8% is quite a lot. We'll also get the crit chance, and now we are looking for knockback. This is usually a good item, but in our case, because we have no dodge, it's bad. But usually this can heal you when you dodge, like at a 50% chance. But this adds up quite a bit, especially if you have so many healing options. The luck is always great to see more rare items. Yeah, I mean... Honest, I will skip this. I should take it for the range damage. It's actually worth it. Because it scales us up so much more. I will take it. I have to. It sucks now because the attack speed is useless, but it gives so much bonus damage, it's worth it. I still need more HP. I don't need more range. We have 55, that's good enough. There's more damage and lifesteal. This is another item that I think is often overlooked. But percent damage and lifesteal is usually exactly what you want. Now, if you play a melee weapon, oftentimes having like ways to recover HP isn't that simple because you don't get to hit the enemies too much. What I mean is, if you already get low in HP because the enemies pummel you down, you can't really hit them anymore, right? Because you want to run away from the enemies to survive and just like stabby whenever you can. So on melee weapons it's a lot harder, and there it's better to invest more into HP to make sure that you can just take more hits. Invest a little bit into HP regeneration, but most importantly into recovering out of consumables. Because if you constantly cowabunga into masses of enemies and a lot of them die and you have high luck with high healing on consumables, then yes, you may take 20 damage, but then you get like 4 fruits that each heal you for 5 HP and bam, you're back to full HP. So this is better for melee weapons, that you take something like that. And as you can see, we have now so much damage that this wave is honestly a cakewalk. Like, that was no problem at all. We get money. So, handcuffs is one thing that I always argue about. Is it good or is it bad? Would it be good to almost double our damage? Yes, by far. Now, do we have enough HP to afford this until the end of the game? I could do it, but I wouldn't recommend it to you because there are so many HP items and then you just waste their stats. If we find this on wave 19, we can lock it in the shop until we get to wave 20 and then we just buy it as last item. But if we found it now in the shop, we wouldn't lock it because we waste so much time. Speed is very important to get this up. That is a legendary armor upgrade. Perfect. Next up, we have percent damage. Is not bad, but I think I will... that's actually a difficult decision. Like, yes, our damage goes up over time, but right now it's so low. I will actually go for the percent damage. And here... Okay, that's a bit of a meme, but you know what? That trade is still worth it, even though we can't do anything with the attack speed. Percent damage lifesteal is what we locked. Let's go. We will go for the damage minus max HP. This is an item when you feel relatively safe with your build on like wave 18, 19. You may lock it or just buy it because it's so much max HP and damage. It's not bad as a finishing touch, but you don't want it randomly. Now, here's an interesting one. Lose experience gain for range damage. Totally worth it, except the dodge doesn't really do anything, but we need the base damage. This one here has 92 damage. Now it has 93. Not that much of a difference, but it accumulates. And I think I will even go for another blunderbuss because this gets around the limitation of the attack cooldown, like when we pick up material. And even though we lost like 6 HP here, we got +1 curse. Yeah, okay. It's a very strong weapon is the thing. Like, this did 7,700 damage. This did 2,000, 3,000, 3,000. This just got combined, so it has nothing. But yeah, this shows the power of that item. We also want more enemies to get more material to trigger this more. So this is kind of perfect. This is bonus crates, which we really like. We don't have that much luck, but it's decent that we get something blue or purple out of it. And here is a huge chunk of HP. Now, this works because we have a lot of armor, and this is kind of a perfect item, because if you already invest a lot into survival with armor, then you get even more survival out of it. So in the future, I don't have to pick up HP. If I want to have more HP, I will just pick up armor, since armor also multiplies the HP that we get, right? Like, if we take less damage, then this means our HP has more value. Okay, this is a wave where we have to be a little bit cautious. Do we? I mean, I hear so many explosions. Why is this so loud, man? I have to decrease the volume of this. There we go. So, yeah, as you can see, with the bounces, and this will especially be a good showcase on the next level, these tentacles, they have insane HP pools, so you will hit them for a very long time, but because we bounce all over the stage, it's fine. The rest of the enemies, they just get killed randomly, and because we have the blunderbuss as well, it deals so much damage that no one survives. Like, even the tentacles just get nuked. But do you notice how many trees are spawning? We have 4 bonus trees here, which doesn't mean you get 4 more trees. It's a little bit different, but you can roughly assume if you get 1 bonus tree as an item, that you get 2 bonus trees spawned on the stage. It's roughly like that. 668 material, very good. We will definitely take the lost duck. Luck is very valuable. The problem is, luck becomes more valuable the better you are at the game, because you can sacrifice other stats to take up luck. Not in a case like this, because that's just free, but you know, on a level up, for example, and then you have way more insane level ups in the future because of higher luck, so it pays off. But if you're not good enough yet, and this is, by the way, a funny trait, because we get 1 armor, lose 2 max HP, but out of... Okay, it's in the shop right now, but out of that item, we'll get 2 max HP, so it's just 1 free armor. Let's take it. More healing? Sure, we'll take it. I think... What do we need right now? I think I want to have crit chance. Sure, that sounds... Well, maybe the range damage was better. The thing is, crit chance doubles our damage, so it's not bad. Okay, we only get 1 HP out of it, so we lost 1 HP in total there, but that's still fine. The baby squid is something we could buy. I personally believe it's an utterly horrible item, because we already determined that lifesteal is our way to heal, and we don't need more because we have so much armor. Usually, if you find it and you lack healing, you can go for it, but it takes so long to kick in to be good that I don't like it. There's another blunderbuss. Do we just take it? It has so much damage. I think I will just take it. There we go. So, over here we have a shredder. Do we want to have 1 shredder? I don't think so. We don't need mass clear because we have this with the slingshot. Yeah, I think we are fine. More experience gain is always nice for more level ups, because this means you hit these level thresholds. Like, this was level 20, so all were purple. But we want to reach level 25 and 30, so this is really good. Now this one, I hate that item because it's so good. 10% speed is insane, lifesteal is insane, minus luck is horrible, but it's just really good. Like, if you check out our speed, we just went positive, and the goal is to get to 30% speed. The worse you are at the game, the better it is to have higher speed. But fun enough, the better you are at the game, the better it is to have higher speed, because you can dodge things that other people wouldn't be able to dodge. So on this stage, there are these ball sacks. Can I show one? There was one, but he died. Where is he? It looks like a potato bag. Oh, he just instantly died. He also instantly died. So here, this dude that you can barely see, when he dies, he spawns 3 of these little gremlins that run around and randomly shoot bullets. Doesn't sound like an issue because it's random, but when they build up, you can have like 30, 40, 50 of them running around on the stage, and since they don't run after you, it's a lot harder to chase them down. Like, if they would run into you, you just kill them because they approach you, but this way, it's really hard to get rid of them. And this means you may just die. Especially difficult for melee players that have melee weapons. So at this point you need to have a good chunk of armor, HP, lifesteal to deal with them, or a weapon like in our case with the slingshot that bounces around and hits them either way, no matter where they are. And in our case it's even better because we have all of that. A lot of HP, a lot of lifesteal, a lot of armor, a decent chunk of attack speed, and yeah, you're not even at the cap anymore, so we may actually take a little bit of attack speed. Wait, what? I'm pretty sure attack speed goes up from the purple to the red one, so I'm a little bit confused why it's capped out at 0.77, but 0.02 difference. I'm not extra gonna buy attack speed for that. That is insane. Like in our case, because our attack speed is limited, that's amazing. That is also amazing, 3 more range damage. So currently it has Didn't I just decrease my attack speed and now my attack speed went up? Wait, what? We were at 0.77. What? I mean, I will still take this. This, like, 2 range damage has so much value. But what? Huh. So over here we have an item. I'm personally not the biggest fan of it, but as you may notice, it's fairly cheap. You only buy 2 of them, and this makes it more likely to see other blue items. It's also HP, and the explosion is insane when you pick up consumables. So I will get it, but this is like one I'm a little bit split on if you really should get it or not. The less HP you have, the more valuable it becomes, because yes, you'll deal less damage, but it's still 3 HP for bonus boom, so it makes it less likely that enemies hit you that charge at you. Blunderbuss, let's get the upgrade. Spyglass is an insane item from the DLC, where reroll costs go down, and that's just insane, so we'll take that. And I would say I will also pick up a little bit of luck, because luck is always nice, and for us it's low. There's the next blunderbuss, I like it. We can do one more roll because they are so cheap now. And I think I will actually lock the speed here because it's really about time that I bump this up to kite the enemies. We have the elite boss fight. So this is the cook, and the cook will just do a bunch of strikes on top of you. That's another topic, you just need to learn what the elites do and their patterns and where they are strong or weak. We don't have enough speed to reliably outrun his strikes later on. Like, did you see that, how it just kept running and I got hit by it? So this is pretty much just when he strikes you, you just run to one direction and then you try to find a gap where you don't get hit. But that's then also it. And because we have the blunderbuss that gets triggered by material pickups and we pick up 75% of the material, they go crazy. So the slingshots were there to clear the rest of the enemies, but look at the blunderbuss. 4.8k, 5.1k, 5.3k. Doesn't sound that great, right? In comparison to this doing 4.2k. They are not that far different, but this got loaded fully into the boss because nothing else was around while I was close to him, while the slingshot hit like 4 different enemies, 5 different enemies on the stage. Like, this one has 4 bounces, so 5 enemies. So the slingshot was split up, which is just like a showcase that different weapons have different goals or different tasks what they're used for. A quick tip, by the way. If you're so far in the game as we are right now, and you see these balls that hatch on the stage, like they are somewhere on the floor, there's a, well, the ball died. Let the guy hatch, because if you can easily kill him, they have a chance to drop a lot of material. Like, all enemies pretty much have a chance to not drop any material, but when they do, and it's the hatcher guy, you will get so much material out of it that it's definitely worth it to just let them hatch. Here's our very first red item. You're horrible. Nah. This is actually not that bad. Like, we don't lack percent damage that much because we have the wisdom that gives us 5% bonus. And even if it's not enough for a boss, you just walk away and build up the damage and then you focus on the boss. But you know what? I actually really love it. The reason is, if we got a broken item now, like the Giant's Belt for example, then it wouldn't have been that great because I got something broken. Now, because we reduced the reroll cost by quite a lot, I can actually reroll more. It's only 25%, but we can roll for a purple one. I mean, yeah, I think I'll go for the speed. That's what I said, what I want to have. Here, I don't really like to roll, but I also don't like all of that. But the thing is, it like saves the reroll increase cost for this one here. Not in the shop, but for this one here. So instead, I will just go for the percent damage. Let's combine these two. We'll get the blunderbuss. We'll get the speed. This could have been our second baby squid, but I can't be bothered. Another form of healing, and now we'll take it because we have a 1 in 3 to crit, and we have 5 hits with the slingshot, so that's insane. More dodge, more crit chance. I really love this item, so I will just take it. And over here you see something where you may be like, well, that's worthless, right? This is 6% bonus damage. 85, 91. Remember, because we have the one that converts knockback into percent damage, so it's always good to keep track of these things, and if you think you can't keep track of them, just don't buy them. But it's quite valuable if you get a lot of them. There's another blunderbuss, nice, we'll take that, and that was already it. But let's look at our weapons for a moment. So they deal 61 times 3 damage, this one deals nice times 5 damage, and this actually times 4. So yeah, that is a lot of damage, that's over 300 damage. This one deals 210 damage, but it has 2 built-in piercing, and the cooldown gets reset when we pick up material, so it actually shoots crazy fast. So I would say let's continue to wave 16, also notorious for building up a lot of the shooter guys, I think. Or was it 15? Was it 15 or this one? I think it was 15, right? I'm just a little bit confused because usually they're quite a problem for me, but I like to play Brotato in a gambly way, since this is just more fun for me, because if I play like this, I would just get bored. You know, if you have a lot of experience in a game and you know how to outplay the game and how to easily win, then just doing that again and again and again is no more fun. So I like to gamble. Unless I state that something is a guide, where I usually then tell you you shouldn't take this, so just take that advice. Then I usually just gamble around and have fun and mess around, like with the fishhook, for example. I sometimes even go down to 1 HP and then challenge myself to just beat the game with that, which is, you know, you think it's easy if you have long-range weapons, but all it takes is one singular bullet hitting you, and that was it. One dashing elite getting to you, and that was it. But it's so much fun. And we just got 700. Do you know how much I hate the game right now? I sometimes struggle so much to find a fishhook even until wave 30. And we're on wave 16 and this is the third fishhook we found. No. Just no. Also these additional turrets. Okay, so there's one thing about them. Turrets can apply certain special effects. So for example, where is it? Didn't I get it? The tooth? No? You know what, I'll just take it to showcase it later on maybe, but turrets can apply certain bonus effects like bounces, like slowdowns, if you have the tooth that slows down the enemies when you hit them. If you get the item that makes turrets crit, or that they can crit, they also apply Giant's Belt, which is one of the most insane boss nukers. And I will pick this up right now, just that it's out of the way, and bonus damage is also nice, but like the material is not worth it for losing a blue unique. That is the main thing why I wanted this. We'll go for the speed here, and we are getting closer to the 30% that I've said. So this one is not worth it at all, but if you're good at the game, we could just take this right now, because this high armor means not that much changes with armor in general, because we heal up so much, so we don't need it. I could just take the damage and nuke bosses, but let's not do it right now, because I wouldn't advise you to do it. Let's go for more armor, beautiful, more enemies. We could definitely take this, but again, if you don't find it and don't know how to use it, it's late. 50% bonus experience would help us to get to level 30. But we'll just accept that we'll stay at level 25 for the next high roll, like where it gives us red stats. So Pearl, I believe, is also from the DLC. I will take it, because I assume you have the DLC, but if not, it's not a big difference, like it doesn't matter that much. It's very expensive. This one here is 6% damage for 56. This one is 5% damage for 154. But you have a 3% chance to find a pearl whenever you open up a crate. And keep in mind we have 4 trees, so it's quite likely to open up a crate. I mean, it's rare that you find more pearls, but when you do it, it's quite nice. And here we have the holy grail of infinite healing. This is why I didn't mind decreasing our HP regeneration, because we took a lot of other things that heal us, but this heals you like crazy. So we are about to face the next boss, by the way. And here we have very tanky enemies, which will show how much damage we actually have. They can be cursed, which makes them purple, and if they are red, they get buffed up by a little dude that is running around somewhere, and it can happen that a cursed enemy, like they spawn cursed, gets buffed up and turns red. This means it's borderline impossible to kill them, but you'll notice, even if we face that, our blunderbuss makes short work of them because it crits for 648 damage. It has a 2.5 times crit multiplier, and that is just absurd. Like, did you see how we shot them away? The nice thing here is, even if we couldn't deal with someone, we have so much knockback by now. Like, it's not a ginormous amount, but do you see how they get shot away? They are not a risk for us, we just push them. That's it. So even here they spawn these little dudes that run around and shoot a bunch of bullets, but it doesn't matter because we are just everywhere. And that is just a perfect combo of these two weapon types. The insta-nuke to anything that is close to us, and this one that deals with the entire stage to make sure we keep getting more material so the blunderbuss can shoot more, but also to thin out the enemies that are further out that they don't build up. 12% more damage is amazing, we have so much range so I can easily afford that, and here we want to go for range damage. Alternatively, armor would also be possible, but I think we have enough of that. Let's go for the range damage, another slingshot, we'll just get that, even though sometimes I prefer to just keep 2 purples and say that was it. We will also go for the range damage here, the speed here, we have 27% now. There's another blunderbuss, but I honestly, I can't be bothered to sell this one just to buy this because of the price. The treasure map, it's so late in the game and everything gets expensive, so usually I like picking it up even this late because we are about to get a guaranteed crate from the boss and you can actually get 2 red items out of that if you get lucky. But the thing is, items are so costly at this point that getting a bonus chance at an item is quite valuable. I mean, if you offer it to me like that, you know what, you're way too expensive, but I will just take it instead of our blunderbuss. Because this saves us a lot of time and roll cost. But we have to roll either way because we have a bunch of money and we need to find items, you know. So saying just to upgrade the blunderbuss will cost a lot in rolling is not really true if you roll either way. Because that means you don't waste the money just to get the weapon right. And that was it. Quick tip, by the way, this crate that we picked up, the red crate over here, heals you for 100 HP. So you don't need to take it right away. Like sometimes what I do is if I know I will kill the boss in like the next, I don't know, 20 hits, then I will make sure to be close to him and risk getting hit and low HP because I know this guarantees that he dies and there can't be shenanigans with his like attacks, whatever the boss has. And I will just instantly heal up from the crate that he drops. Alternatively, if you're just at half HP like we were, you can keep it on the stage and stay close to it, like close enough that you just walk a little bit and you would pick it up. But this way, if enemies overwhelm you, you can make a full heal in the middle of the wave and this will just save you. And what do we get? We get 6 range damage, good enough. Also bonus knockback, which is 6% bonus damage. More damage but curse, I will just take it, but I will avoid taking any cursed item that we find. So this is so expensive that honestly I don't really want to have it, but I'll take it. And 3 range damage, we are getting closer to the end, so I can't be all too picky. I will just get them. We'll also get the fish, but we'll not roll yet, because otherwise we just see 3 items in the shop. Honestly speaking, I will not lock this extra. Like, there's only 1 good stat in there, let's just roll. It wasn't worth it. It so wasn't worth it. This is bonus healing though. It healed us for 9 HP in total. You see, the problem is we just don't get hit. So we can't recover HP if I don't get hit, right? So it looks horrible, but it's like a backup that if something goes wrong, we easily heal up. In fact, can some of the enemies please hit me? I'm just standing still. Okay, well, that was a cursed big guy. Ranged tentacle, can you hit me? Anyone? Please. Hey, I skipped so much stuff that would have made me broken. Surely someone can hit me. One enemy. You can dash. No? Okay. You, tentacle. Oh. Oh, 13 HP. And we are full HP. Did you see how fast we just healed? I will try to showcase this a bit in the boss fight, like how absurd our healing actually is. Because otherwise you don't understand how overpowered we are right now. If you don't understand that we are borderline immortal. This doesn't mean I can just stand still and take like 5 million hits from the boss. Like, for that it's by far not enough. But we are also not that far away from it, because when we kill enemies we heal, and our bounces make sure that we hit all over the stage. Both of these are insane, but I think I value the crit a little bit more. Kollege, no? It's like, I'm about to clutch you out of this existence. Do you know how many times... This is the 4th hook. This is the 4th hook. You have to be kidding me. We'll take even more armor. Do we need a bit of attack speed? Actually looks like it. So you know what? I don't regret this. Yeah, now we are at the cap. Perfect. More range damage minus attack speed. Perfect. We are below the cap again. We are just looking for anything that is a slight bonus, because this is the final shopping phase that we have. So we take anything. This is good. This is not possible anymore, but very nice price. Well, this would have been amazing. Do you understand how insane this would have been with the blunderbuss to just kill everything? Because this also means we could have gotten rid entirely of the slingshot, because they will hit the enemies all over the stage. Like, maybe we keep one of them, but they are self-sustaining because the projectiles fly through the air, kill enemies, the material flies in automatically almost always, and we are fine. But let's go to wave 20, and I will intentionally get hit by the boss just to show you how fast we heal. There we go. So we have to wait for some enemies to spawn, because we mostly heal when enemies are around. But you'll notice, the more the enemies spawn, the harder we'll heal all of a sudden. Like, it will just start shooting up. Okay, you know what? It's not as insane as I thought. I mean, we are just killing the bosses, you know, so we are not at risk of dying. But I kind of thought it's... Okay, well, there we just saw it. Did you see how I got hit and we just quickly healed that off? That showed it better. But that was kind of pathetic for how much I bladed up. But this should give you a very good understanding in general to beat Brotato with any character, because these rules I explained to you apply to almost anything. Like even if you say I play elemental damage and I can't go for lifesteal, yes you can. Flamethrower is an insane elemental weapon that attacks like 20 times a second. When you buy it, you don't even need attack speed. So even if you have 10% lifesteal, you have 20 times a second to trigger this, and you're fine. So I hope this guide was somewhat helpful for you and will help you beat the game. There are obviously some characters where it's just harder to beat the game, but that's the nature of a game like this. And if you enjoyed it, then don't forget to subscribe and give the video a like. See you the next time.